Welcome back to the channel. We are in for a treat today. We are at the Simone Museum in Philadelphia looking at some incredible cars. The Simone Museum, for those of you that don't know, was rated the #1 automobile museum in the world. The history here, the cars that are here are just breathtaking. Every car in this museum is driven regularly, and there are many of these cars that are completely unrestored original in the unrestored original class. Right now we're looking at some vintage Alfa Romeo, I believe. That may have been, I think this, let's take a look at this. Go ahead and pause it if you like. 165 horsepower, 1938. It ran 135 miles an hour at the Brooklands. And I believe the Brooklands was a race or a racetrack way back in the day, long before my time. What, can you imagine going 135 miles an hour in that car? I mean, heck, even in a supercar it's fast, right? But imagine going that fast in a car like that with, are those even drum brakes? I'm not even sure if those are something before drum brakes. Like, what was before drum brakes? Comment below. They do kind of look like discs, but there's no calipers there. And look at the running boards on this one here. This one I believe is a Jaguar. Looks great in black. 3.5 liter. And I believe this one topped out at 100 miles an hour. Those running boards are serious, huh? Look how deep they are. Very deep. The black spoke wheels. The beautiful headlights. Chrome really works well on antique cars like this. Okay, here we go. Go ahead and pause it. 125 horsepower, four-wheel drum brakes. So they did have drum brakes in this era. And the cars were lighter, 2,500 pounds. Can you imagine 100 miles an hour, 4-speed manual? Back in the day at the Brooklands race. It's an interesting looking track. Go ahead and Google the track if you have time. So what are you taking, the Alfa or the Jag? Over here we've got a wild, I believe it's a Bentley, and those running boards look like they're 1.5 feet deep. Look at that on the front. You see the very front there? That's actually a supercharger. So they had Bentley had a supercharged car back in the 1930s. I mean, how about that? Let's see. 4.5 liter blower. 55 were manufactured, 43 remained. It's an inline 4-cylinder, Roots style supercharger. Has drum brakes, 182 horsepower. Wow. That must be a beast to drive. These are becoming more appealing to me. I have to admit, I don't know much about cars from this era. I'm into the newer stuff. Muscle cars and up, 1963, 64 and up, like, Gen 1 Mustang or 2nd Gen Corvette and up, for example. Early Ferraris, Lamborghinis, like the Mira. But this is just another world. And look how beautiful this place is. You look around, and let's take a minute to talk about the founder, Fred Simone. Rest in peace, Fred, who just passed away. The man was an incredible man. He was a surgeon. He was a world-renowned surgeon. They would literally fly this guy around the world to perform brain surgery on world leaders around the world. I mean, he was really a real humble man. I didn't have the opportunity to meet him, but from everything I hear nothing but the best. Okay, so this is a 21 Vauxhall. So go ahead and pause that. This one's 90 horsepower. And it's on the rocks here, so this is kind of makes me think it's like an off-road SUV for its time, if that makes sense. A Vauxhall. So this is in Philadelphia. It's a huge museum. They have memberships here that are actually pretty reasonable if you want to become a member. They have demo days where they drive these cars out back. All types of wild stuff. And we're going to cover most of the cars in here over the next few weeks. He has rare classic Ferraris, Porsches, old school muscle. He has a lot of the Ford Shelby era Cobra cars that are unrestored and completely original. I mean, awesome stuff. So stick around for those videos. And feel free to comment below because I know a lot of you guys know much more about this stuff than I do. I'm ready to go back. You know, when I went, it's been a few months. It's been 6 months actually. It was in March when I went. And I had the place to myself. I got there real early on like a Sunday. I think I went on a Sunday. It was either the day before or the day after a demo day. So it was usually people go the day after a demo day. A demo day is when everyone comes and they drive the cars out back. And those are busy. So the day before or the day after is usually slow. Anyway, here we are looking at some German cars. That's a 55 Gullwing lightweight off to the left. I believe that's a BMW. I believe both of these are BMWs. 1950s, I believe. Early 50s. Race cars back in the day. Let's see. Okay. 1927. Excuse me. The Mercedes is the one from the 50s. 27. No, that's about the Nürburgring race. So the BMW is not a 27. That was just the sign talking about the I can't even say it. Nürburgring race. Anyway, wild stuff. I get excited when I see all this stuff. So what do you guys think? Do you like this era of car here? The German cars, the BMWs here, the Mercedes. The Gullwing is beautiful. So that's the sign we need to tell us about the BMWs here. And it looks like the Nürburgring was founded in 27. So am I going to skip over it? Almost. We get a front shot of the BMW here. These two are obviously pretty close in age, you can tell, and you can see the patina on the front. Look at the front there. They've got the leather straps on the engine cover. We'll take a look at the sign. Go ahead and pause this. So 37, so in between, you know, not late 20s, but definitely not 50s. 80 horsepower, triple Solex carb, 4-speed manual. And my favorite car over here, the Gullwing lightweight. Wow, look at this thing. Let's take a look at this. My favorite classic Mercedes, probably everybody's. I believe 55 was the first year. They started with the Gullwing. Eventually they became convertible roadsters, I think, because they were maybe for safety requirements or they were easier to make, or I can't remember. But love that front end. That is a timeless front end on this car. And this was I believe a 3-liter straight 6. Let's see what the sign says. Go ahead and pause it. Inline 6, yeah. 3-liter, 215 horsepower, and I believe it stayed at that output for a while. 4-speed manual, 2,500 pounds. It's the first serial produced fuel-injected automobile. Interesting. Top speed 161. So this is the lightweight, the racing model. That's about it for today, guys. We're going to cover a lot more cars on here, so stay tuned for lots of fun stuff. I'll see you guys soon.